It's Friday night, and you dudes have waited long enough. It's the Super Game Room dudes, and we are about to be live. It is Friday, May 9th, 2025. And can you guys believe we are already into May? 5 months of the year have gone by in what has probably become one of the most depressing years in the history of home arcade. This little community, it's just so bad that the community is no choice now but to digest and eat each other. And it's a real shame. But you know what? We're just here to try and do this stupid nerdy little show that we've been doing for years. And he's here. He's arrived. He was a little bit late, but everybody was waiting for the show to begin. He made it. Carl's here. What's up, Detroit Love? Good to see
What's
you,
up,
man.
gentlemen? What's going on, fellas?
Oh man, it's good to see you guys. It's been a very weird week. We got some gaming news to talk about, which is of course the primary focus of our show. If you guys don't mind, do me a favor in the live chat. Give a shout out to Michael B, the Game Genie, Detroit Love, and Nostalgia, my co-host over the years. You know, there have been so many people who have tried to bring down or take down our show, yet the four of us stand tall. Isn't that great, guys? I mean, you can't move a mountain. You can't do anything, what's the phrase? I can't even think of something eloquent to say, boys, but the fact that we're still here, we're still doing it, is fantastic. Uh Steven, how are you? I actually want to talk about Chicago for a minute, if you guys don't mind, if
Is
that's
it about the
okay.
Pope?
So I'm born and raised Chicago, baby, and we got our Chicago Pope. For those of you who are Catholic like me, we got our Chicago Pope. But there's a problem with this Pope, and this is all I'm going to say. All right, it was confirmed today that he is a White Sox fan. So now
Oh,
he's got to go. He's not a Cubs fan. He's a White Sox fan. He's got to go now. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to recast the ballots in the conclave. But I'm sure he's a Bears fan as well. But you know what this means, right? The Vatican will be praying for a Chicago Bears Super Bowl this year. Am I right, Carl? I mean, the Lions. I don't know what's gonna, dude. This division is gonna be insane this
It always
year.
is. It always is. But I mean, the Lions just in the mix now. It always was without us. But
there's a big rumor out there that the Pope's a flipper fan. Being from Chicago, he's a pinball guy.
That's great. That's great.
Can I just take a quick second? I just wanted to say something to one of our other co-hosts here. I know Carl probably didn't want us to talk about this and stuff, but Carl, I just wanted to again apologize for what happened to you on your stream you did last Thursday. Again, that was horrible, irreprehensible, and you never should have had to go through that, or your guests. So very sorry, man. And I'm glad that guy's channel got taken down, and hope people are more aware of that. There's way too much hate in the community, whether it's, something like what happened with Carl is horrible. Then you've got other people, you've got to be careful not to hate anybody making content with stuff about whether or not people are homophobic comments, stuff like that. It's super inappropriate. We all got to stop that. And especially, you guys might not know this, but we have another person from a special group in our chat as well. It's not just Carl, but we're a very diverse group. So I personally would very much appreciate if you guys in the chat, and for our longtime fans, like, be mindful when you make comments in the chat. You don't want to offend people. We do have somebody with a micro penis, so just try to refrain from making comments about that.
Who's that guy, Mike?
I don't want to say. I don't want to bring it to the forefront. But 100%, guys. Sorry for the joke there. This is a very serious topic. We got to do a better job. Like, you know what? We can have disagreements. You can think I'm a shill, or you can think all kinds of other things. But there's a point where it's too far, and make sure to never cross that.
Before we move on, because I actually want to just add something. Everybody here, it looks like P-Dubs, Carl, Mike, everyone has a cup or a drink of some sort, yeah? So I ask that you raise your drink, and I'm just going to say, fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy, for sure.
100%.
That's all I got.
Yeah, guys. What's interesting about the culture of 2025 is, although it's a culture where some of us look at it that they're determined to find something to be offended about at all occasions, there are truly things that are offensive. And although we messaged Carl after we saw his show and people were spamming the N-word during his show, we messaged Carl saying, Carl, what do you want us to do about it to help you? Carl, Carl's big boy. Carl's like, hey man, report the account. And he kind of wanted to leave it at that. And if that's what Carl wants to do, I'm going to respect my friend's wishes despite what other people think. So that's what we did. We reported the account. That account got taken down. So there is a line, guys. Like, there is a line. And although we tell a lot of R-rated humor on this podcast, and although we might talk shit and take pot shots at our critics, we try to remember there's a line. You know what I mean? And, don't be doing that to our boy, because D-Love is the foundation of this team. D-Love will never be let go from this team. D-Love is the glue that holds this team together. Do you know how many times where I'm spazzing out about something, I talk to Carl and Carl calms me down? He's like, P-Dubs, who gives a shit about this stuff? Let's play golf. You know what I mean? Like, Carl's the man. So Carl, we love you, bro.
Yeah. Now, Jason, thanks for the super chat. Says, I apologize I was not able to attend the show last Thursday, or I would have instantly zapped that nonsense. Multiple streams got hit with similar vile language in recent weeks, and it's pathetic. That was the first thing I would say. I was like, hey, the alien's always there. He's always
so what I'm hearing is it sounds like it's Jason's fault that this happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
the man tries to be everywhere at one time, impossible job. But we appreciate you, Jason, man. Thanks for the super chat, man. Awesome.
Also, huge thank you to Stock Jock as well for gifting 10 Super Game Room Dude memberships. Very much appreciated. And Goofyfoot, he's back from his 2-week trip to go try to find a Jurassic Park Data East machine. Unfortunately, that was not successful. But he's back, and he's a member for 21 months. So thank you very much.
Wild. Yeah. Nearly 2 years of membership, dude. I don't know why anyone would ever want to stick around with us for almost 2 years. So whatever it is, thanks for doing that. But
yep,
should get that checked out.
Micro Penis Club forever going on in the live chat. Speak for yourself. I'm just kidding.
Jason's going to get you guys out there.
Yeah. So minus that stuff, it's been again, when it comes to the home arcade community, there's so many things that are just on pause. Companies that are like taking the wait and see approach, and every day you hear about more and more companies that are kind of like, whether they're handheld companies like Ambernick or others who are like freezing shipments to the US, Evercade, all this stuff, right? And it's been kind of a depressing year. But you know what will get us through until the end of 2025, and eventually this stuff will probably get sorted out to a more tolerable position, hopefully. is the fact that we all hang out together, man. We all come in here, we have fun, we talk about what we have going on, and there is always video games to play. Hell, Mike, I was taking a look at my backlog, and do you know that up here on my shelf, I have a few GameCube games still wrapped in plastic. We're talking crap I bought 15 years ago, still sealed in plastic, and I'm like, I have time. I'm gonna have time.
Yeah, it's you're like me. You're an RPG player, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
You always buy all these RPGs. You're like, man, I'm gonna get to that, and then you come back to it 20 years later, and you're like, I didn't know I had that.
Like I got, and this isn't GameCube game. I picked up The Witcher 2, and I was like, I'm gonna play Witcher because you guys know me. I love RPGs, so I'm gonna play or fantasy games like that. I'm gonna play The Witcher. Never played it, and I have it still sealed up there. And I have Witcher 3 on Xbox One. Never played it, you know what I mean? But I spent like the $60 on it, you know what I mean? Like there's so many, the backlog is huge. But what is really preventing me from even getting to the backlog is one of the cool new games, Exhibition 33, which we're going to talk about a little bit about tonight. We're also going to talk, AtGames actually gave us some news, some of it good, some of it bad. But then also Zen Studios really is just, a lot of companies are, because they're more hardware related, are really suffering this year. Zen Studios is software related company, right? Zen Studios is killing it. They're gonna, and if we're not buying arcade products and joysticks and modding parts, you can be sure we're going to spend that extra couple of bucks on some pinball games. You know what I mean? So that's all been interesting. So we should have, and then we're just going to shoot the shit like we usually do. This show always goes off the rails. I don't know what people expect from us. Do we get another super chat? Yes.
We got another super chat from, I think it was Quarter Deck Arcade here.
Carl.
The Quarter Deck Arcade, $10 super chat. I'm just happy to be here. Well, Quarter Deck, we are excited that you are here as well, and we appreciate this gift here.
Thank you for the quarter-pound double stack money. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. So does my diabetes. We're going to say hi to who's here in the live chat. So if you want your shout out, speak now, forever hold your peace. This is a staple of the Super Game Room dudes. It's nice to see that pretty much every other podcast does this now, but we've been doing this since the beginning. Let's see who's here. MG is here. Cat Dad, Glenn Baisley, Jason, Little Alien, Pitbull, Bill's a Retro Gaming Show, J-Rod, Kurt the Daring, Fourth Horseman, Bill's Retro Gaming Show's here again. Stock Jock is here. Brooklyn Menace, one of our favorites. We can't wait to use you later, buddy. James hates everything but loves home arcades. Biggie D is here. Who else is here? We got Mike of all trades. Throw the ones up and acknowledge Mo in the live chat. Who else we got here? We got Mad Dog. We got Kurt the Daring. By the way, speaking of which, my son got me. I had bought all those. Do you guys remember the Dragon's Lair 3D action figures? Over the years, I've been slowly collecting them. They only made like 5 figures or so. And the one I was missing was the actual guy, the knight. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart.
Dirk.
I was missing the Dirk figurine, and my son found me one unopened, still on card action figure. So now I have the entire Dragon's Lair 3D action figure set. Finally, I've been obsessed with collecting action figures based upon video games and arcade games lately. If you guys have been following me on my Twitters and Instagrams and Facebooks, so that's been cool. J-Rod is here. Dennis. Who else we got? Nooner's here as well. We got Vince is here. Vince V. First time I think I've seen Vince's name. My mouse is going nuts on me. It's trying to move my entire screen, not just the chat. The real Zim is here. Thank God it's not the fake Zim. Geo's here as well. What's up, Geo? Geo is our Dance Revolution king in this community. Kevin Clausen gave us $2. Said 19K Fox started all this drama. It's him.
He's not joking. Do you know 19K Fox had the gall to skip Super Game Room dudes tonight to take his wife out to a movie?
What an asshole.
Where are his priorities?
You know what he does is he stirs the pot. He causes all this drama on Discord and Facebook, and then he takes his wife to the movies, and then he'll come back home later on and see how it all turned out. Jeremy K also gave us $5. He says he's been watching our show every week since mid-COVID. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for being here, man. Chris HC, Mad Dog is here as well. Hazo's here. I thought I saw Hazo in the chat. Always love seeing Hazo. What's kind of funny is when I go back and if I watch replays of our show from like 4 or 5 years ago, because sometimes I'll listen to them. We all have aged terribly, by the way, especially you, Nostalgia. You're looking a little rough in 2025. But what's funny is when I go and I look at replays from like 4 years ago and stuff, there's a lot of names in the live chats who are gone, you know, whether they've left the community or sometimes people just change their username on YouTube. But there are dozens and dozens of people who have been here for years, you know, and that's why we do what we do. We love you guys. JW as well, throwing in $2. He's watching in his boxers. Well, truth be told, Carl's not wearing any pants right now. Isn't that right, Carl?
Hey, at the drop of a dime, they can be gone. So
don't let the polo fool you. I've been watching since the clap. Oh, you poor man. I'm here for the tariff and vag talk. Oh, there you go.
I think Pitbull, what he's saying is he's been watching since he had the clap, which is roughly around 4 years ago.
And ladies and gentlemen, he thought he wouldn't get his shout out, but he is. Dr. Torque is here as well. Everyone say hi to Dr. Torque. We don't want him to feel overlooked. Darkroom Arcade, J-Rod, the whole crew's here. Thanks so much, guys. All right, so let's dive into some stuff. Well, first off, real quick, minus some of the unfortunate, silly stuff that happens on social media, how's your guys' week been? You do anything fun, Nostalgia? I saw you did a Dreamcast video. You've been doing a few of those lately.
I did. I had a lot of fun with that one. That actually was like, it's a video I've been wanting to make for a while. And then I made it and I was like, God damn it. Like, that's the type of video I like doing. I had so much fun making it. I had so much fun building it. I had so much fun playing it. That's where the money is. That's what it's about. So lots of fun.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it's been a fun week. Beat Oblivion and just the main quest, guys. Not everything, of course.
You didn't beat it. You didn't play 30 hours of Oblivion in 2 days. You did not beat it.
You always do this, man, and people believe you is the worst part.
You did not.
What the fuck? You put on your own tinfoil hat, dude.
Guys, did Mike play 30 hours of Oblivion in 2 days and beat that game? If you believe him, give him a 1 in the chat. Why do you think it's
2 days? It was out for like a week and a half.
And you weren't playing it for a week and a half. You were playing something else.
I'm not you. I enjoy playing games.
1 in the chat if you've been playing any other game with Mike on VR or any other source.
Yeah. Put a 0 in the chat if Mike is full of hogwash. I don't think Mike beat Oblivion. I need to see the trophies. Where's the trophies, Mike?
Oh, they're there. Go look.
On Xbox?
I don't actually think Mike has beaten any game. Ever.
Maybe.
This is kind of true. I think this is how he does it is, you know, Mike's taking calls, but also got the controller in his hand running through the Oblivion gates.
Just like James to try to get somebody in trouble with their workplace. Always going outside the lines.
Well, I am still working on Expedition 33, which we'll get to, but I'm only 20 hours into it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mike beats that game in 2 days.
I won't beat that game in 2 days. Not at all.
So Expedition 33 will, the storyline will take you 30 to 35 hours if you just like kind of do the main quests. But if you run around and explore and do everything, it's a game that could take upwards of 60 to 90 hours is what people are saying. I'm just trying to get through the main story right now because once I started running around and just doing random stuff, you just fall into this void of, oh man, I really need to
save it. We're going to talk about it later. Remember, save it.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So Mike says he played the main story.
Well, you guys know it's summertime or it's springtime. But here in Michigan,
very soon we're going to lose Carl. We're going to lose Carl very soon.
They normally just skip past spring and just go from winter to summer. So
yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of outdoor things, but I've been trying to fit in some videos in between and been having some trouble. If you check out my latest short, I had this problem with my what do you call this thing? The pole position sit down. I had a label that goes on the bezel, and I screwed that up pretty royally. So I did a short showing that mistake. And I did some more stop action with Tony and Ezekiel. If you guys want to check it, both are pretty funny. Just short, take a minute or two of your time.
Your shorts with your action figures, Carl. We need to talk. I'm getting a little worried.
You remember in Spaceballs when they walked in on Darth Helmet playing with the toys?
No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. But they're funny though. They're funny. Stop motion. Yeah. You know who else does some stop motion stuff is that Mr. Home Arcade, who was CT Jason, when he pivoted over and just wanted to cover He-Man action figures on his new channel, Mr. Home Arcade. He does a lot of the stop motion stuff and it's hilarious. So that's great stuff. Wow, $5 from James. Thanks, James. You still owe us another 25, buddy. I legit fell asleep during the prolonged on Expedition 33. First time ever falling asleep playing a game. The beginning of that game, like the whole prologue until you actually leave on the expedition, is very, very long. But so don't play it when you're tired. But I enjoyed it. I've been enjoying the hell out of the story. This game came out of nowhere to me, and it's been one of my favorite things so far in 2025.
Save it. We're going to talk about it.
Well, we are talking about it right now.
That's true.
You want to go into it now?
Well, hang on.
You gotta let these things happen organically, Mike.
All right, here's a stop action.
It's your boy, Detroit Love.
In the neon-lit corners of a forgotten arcade, legends are made, and egos are shattered.
Carl, just pause it for a second.
Plastic Warrior.
Children, avert your ears. Back to it. This is excellent, by the way, Carl.
Have waged a silent battle. Tony, the silent assassin of retro gaming. Ezekiel, the loudmouth who never loses. Or so he says so. But today, it happened. Tony climbed the mountain. New high score. 3 letters burned into history. T and Y. And Ezekiel, he saw it. And now he wants blood. Welcome to the beef. No rules, no mercy, all kin. The moment starts now.
What's your name? What? What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel! Fuck you! Fuck you! Hey, you know what I did last night? You better not bring my mother into this! You know what I did? You better not! I put that fly over there. Oh! Can I fuck your mother next to it? Fuck you, Ezekiel!
Thanks for watching Detroit Love.
Oh, Carl, you're the best. You're the best.
You better not bring my mama into it.
$2 from Kevin Clausen. This short deserves a super chat. That was really good. And what's funny is if we should have known by him calling him Tony and Ezekiel that he was going to use that sound, because that's like a big TikTok meme. I should have known it was coming, but it still surprised me.
I'm sorry, guys. Shut down the show now. Give that man the $10,000. Nothing's going to beat that. We're done for the night.
The rest of the show sucks compared to that. So, Nostalgia, your room is very bright tonight. My goodness, man.
I was in a rush to get on the show. I didn't turn on the lights properly. I just kind of got everything plugged in as quickly as I could and turned it on.
What do you got sitting on top of your Legends Pinball back there? What are those little boxes?
Those are custom-made Pokemon games for the N64. I've got one of every single Game Boy Color version that there is.
Why does it say Dreamcast then?
Oh, wait, are you talking about on top of the pinball machine top, or are you talking about what's on the playfield?
I was talking on I was just talking about the
here?
Pokemon stuff, but yeah, what is that Dreamcast box?
Yeah, I'm interested.
That's from the video. Here, I'll grab it.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Look at him all dressed up for tonight's show too.
He's so sexy.
All right.
Going full screen on me.
Yeah, we want to see it.
You look so sexy. I wish you didn't have a micro penis.
Yeah, that's all right, man. You know what? You can't have it all, right? Sometimes you get a lot of good qualities, but you get a couple of the bad ones too.
Yeah.
So there she is.
Look at that. Look at that little mini Dreamcast.
Is that a PC emulator? What's that?
Pi 5.
Pi 5?
Pretty slick. The little modem bay, wherever that is, right here, pops off. You get access to the SD card. It's actually got like little magnets on it, so it like it like snaps in. It's really nice.
Right. Nice and soft.
This is the latest version that this guy has been making. Working power button. It's got standby modes, power button, safe shutdown scripts are all there. Inside of it, Raspberry Pi 5. The USB header right over here is all custom created by the gentleman that made this. And what I think the coolest thing about this thing is, I'm going to try to get up there. It looks like super professional. This guy made this by hand. He makes every single one of these handmade. He designed the file himself. Like, this isn't some file he found online. He actually hand created the file in CAD. He prints them. He sands them down. He paints them to match, like 100% match an original Dreamcast. If I can grab mine, you can literally see like it's
wow.
It's like literally a perfect match in every way. It's a 1-to-1 aspect ratio, or sorry, 1-to-1 form factor of an original. It's just like the craftsmanship in this thing is above and beyond anything that I've ever seen.
What's the controllers look like?
So controller, it doesn't come with a controller. You just these ports here are USB-B connectors.
Right.
So every single one of these will come with an adapter that you plug in here, and then you can plug in any USB controller to it.
Okay.
Is there an attachment to connect an
original
Dreamcast? Yeah,
there is. Awesome. I think it's called a RalphNet or something like that, or RAFnet. I don't know exactly what the name is, but effectively that's what it is. It's USB to a Dreamcast connector. You pop it in, and it's good to go. Now, in the video I showed, there's actually two models. So this is the Pi 5 version. This one I've had for like a year. This one actually has an Odroid C4 in it. This is more of a prototype version when he was like first designing them. So it has a bunch of different features. The one feature that I wish carried over was this. Oh, if I can get it to open. Oh, sorry. There we go.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So that actually opens up and it closes. Now you can't really do much. It's like it's functional, but it's not like you can't stick anything in there. So
it's like a replicate. It's one more thing.
Yeah. So like it's got kind of everything that you would want in terms of like functionality. It's got, I don't know, it's cool, but it's running an Odroid. So this isn't one that you're going to want to pick up. He doesn't even make these anymore. He had to change the design. So the new ones don't have that opening door, because the change on this is that he actually created a special vent and a little funnel. So a fan inside will suck the heat out and push it out in the same way that an original Dreamcast would, right out of those vent grills.
So Dreamcast emulation fans are all thinking the same thing right now. Nostalgia. Can I play Dream SNES on it?
You sure as hell. I don't know what that is.
You didn't
Dream
do the
SNES?
Dreamcast. You didn't do the Dreamcast emulation back in the day.
You mean like, is that an emulator?
Yeah, Dream SNES was an emulator. So what they used to do was like once it got cracked and you could like burn your own games for the Dreamcast and stuff like that. They also came out with emulators. That was like one of my first emulator experiences. I emulated on PC, but then when I found out you can emulate on Dreamcast, man, I was constantly playing like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis on my Dreamcast.
That's interesting. So my first Dreamcast, I bought that when I was 14 years old was when I bought the Dreamcast, and I bought it secondhand. And at that point, there were certain models of the Dreamcast that just could run backup discs. Right.
Yeah.
You didn't need a mod chip or anything. I think it was a version 0 and version 1. You could just
all of them could run. Backup discs.
The newer ones can't. Yeah.
The version 2s could not.
Yeah,
they had some sort of security chip in them, but the version 0 and the version 1 could. So when I got my Dreamcast for the first time, I was just burning games and then playing burnt games. And then emulation, I didn't really emulate it until later on like things like RetroArch with custom cores and things like that. So now I like using the standalone Redream emulator for pretty much all emulation on Dreamcast. If it's available, that's what I would prefer to use. But for the most part, the emulation I do right now is anything through RetroArch is just Flycast.
Yeah. So one thing I really like about this is I'm a big collector of all the mini consoles. Now,
Yeah.
I'm talking about the good mini consoles that were actually made by the companies and not made by third-party companies, right?
Fuck you. This
So-
is as good as first-party shit, anyways. But you're right.
Yeah, but like you know what I mean. So
I
yeah. So like we have like SNES Mini, we have everybody hates that Super Nintendo Mini, NES Mini, and then there's certain things we're never gonna get. Like we're never gonna get an N64 Classic. We're never gonna get a Saturn Mini, Dreamcast Mini. So it's cool we can do this shit with Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. Now it'd be a lot cooler if you could fit a Mister in there, but
I don't think so.
So
you don't think so?
I think it would be cool, but then it would be too expensive. I think that
that's
like these as they are, they're very expensive. They're all handcrafted. It's a lot of labor. Like this is not a cheap thing you could pick up. If you want to go grab a cheap $30 case.
Does it work with a Pi 4?
Yeah. So I think let me just check. So on the back of this plate here, this plate is actually interchangeable. I think he has kits or like plates that you could put in a Pi 4 if you wanted to. That would work really well if you already have a Pi 4 at home. If you are buying this from the guy who makes them, he doesn't sell them with Pi 4s. He only does them with Pi 5s. So unless you're gonna, try to work out a deal with him where you're not getting the internals, you're probably looking at a Pi 5. Performance-wise, though, Pi 4, Pi 5, it won't make much of a difference. You're going to get equal performance on Dreamcast for the most part. And honestly, the games, they run like super flawlessly. There it is.
Oh, crap. He's got a GameCube. Why'd you waste your time with the Dreamcast?
I want to pick up the GameCube next. It's pricey. His
so cool
GameCube does not run with a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, okay. What does it run
there? It's actually a mini PC.
Okay.
And it's a little beefy mini PC. So I think the PC in there alone is like a $350 mini PC. So that's the next one I want to get. The mini Dreamcast system is awesome. The mini GameCube system is awesome. This I think is great if you like Dreamcast. And then I know he's got a couple other things kind of in design phase. I don't want to say anything because I'll let him kind of reveal them when they're ready. But they're badass. They're badass mini systems.
So what is the cost of the Dreamcast one?
So I believe his pricing on this is somewhere between $300 and $400 for a complete package. I don't actually know because I didn't buy a complete package from him. Both of the kits that I bought them as kits. So they didn't actually come with the Pi. They didn't come with the chargers, the SD cards, the fans, the heat sinks, or anything.
Can we go back a minute?
Yeah.
Nostalgia, are you really telling us you bought this?
Yeah, I did.
I've never seen you buy anything.
Yeah, but this is bad. He's like a guy that just works out of his basement. I'm not going to ask him for free shit. I just messaged him and say, hey, can I buy one? Because they're awesome. So
you messaged him. You said, listen, I'm Nostalgia. I'm a really big deal. Any chance you can send me one of these? And he said, no, I'm a really small company. You were like, listen, man, you get a lot of promotion on Nostalgia's channel. People be looking at my hands. They'd be looking at your products. And then finally, after 2 hours of negotiating, how much of a discount did he give you?
Nothing. I didn't get a discount, man.
I don't know.
I didn't ask him for one. When I reached out to him initially, I told him like, hey, I love these things. I want to make a video on my YouTube channel. Can I just buy one off of you? Just like tell me how much you want for it and I'll buy it. And he said, well, we've got these kits where I put in all the work. I've got a hand paint.
So you couldn't just go to the website and just order one? You had to rate him personally and tell him, hey, listen, I want to make a YouTube video on this. Can I buy one from you?
No, I don't think he does sales directly on his website. So I think there's a multitude of reasons why he doesn't. He doesn't want to draw attention. He doesn't want the big companies coming after him. So in terms of what he does, if you want one, we'll call them customs or they're a la carte types of things. He doesn't have an inventory.
Made to order.
Made to order.
And that's similar to Stellar Pinball. They're a small company that, I probably could have got one free from, but I wasn't interested. And they're pretty pricey. Not as quite because they don't give you the internals, but I like to see these guys grow and do well. And as a matter of fact, I'll be in Utah this end of this month, and I'm gonna meet the guys that do the Stellar Park. They're in Roy, Utah. It was about 50 minutes from Salt Lake City. So,
oh wow, that's awesome, Carl.
Yeah, so we'll go out and play some pinball and shoot the shit. But so that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just had one last question. So it can play Ready to Rumble. It can play, Soul Calibur, all those games.
Yep.
Power Stone, everybody with no issues.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it's a Pi 5. It can output in 4K. You don't want to run it in 4K. I've got the main system running in 1080p. And then the games are running at 2x native resolution. So whatever that works out to. I think the stock resolution on a GameCube on a Dreamcast is 640 by 480, and I'm running it at 2x, and it looks great. Like I was running it on my TV. So I don't know what it is, 48-inch or whatever TV, and it looks wonderful. So
you know what my favorite thing about it is? It's so nostalgically accurate that it doesn't play DVDs.
Oh God. Oh man.
Well,
hey, that's one of the big reasons Dreamcast lost that war, man. No jokes.
So I did pin it to the top of the chat. I did pin it to the top of the chat. And I also put the link in the chat a couple of times. But Nostalgia again, real quick, because I think I missed it. What are the costs for the GameCube or the Dreamcast version?
So I don't actually know the full retail price. I just know around what I think it's going to cost. I didn't buy. I said I bought the kit, not the whole package.
Okay.
So I think if you were to just reach out to him and want to buy one of these complete, fully loaded with the Pi, everything that comes with it, I think you're going to be around $300 to $400 on the Dreamcast. If you want the GameCube, I think his pricing is around $6 on one of those.
Any games come with it when you buy the whole thing from him?
I imagine yes. I don't know what actually comes with it because, like I said, on mine, I got it effectively the shell and the board inside for the controller. I provided everything else.
And if you put that in
I built the image and everything.
If you put that in perspective, when I used to build people's put pies into the arcade one up, $300 was just my cost to do it, right? And they bought the parts, they bought the cabinets, you know what I mean? So that's a hell of a.
Well, and like people are paying what $250, $300 for a numbskull machine or something like that, right? Like that's a pretty super arcade accurate miniature scale item. Right. That's kind of what you're getting. And I think the big difference is this guy is not a mass producer. He's literally making these one by one by hand sanding everything, applying like the decals. All of these are custom decals that he's applying by hand. It's even like super accurate to even the labels. I can't get my camera to focus.
All right. Well, I think you've met your contract. I know you're contractually obligated to.
Of course, yeah.
I think we've met it, but yeah, it's a great product. I'll definitely check it out. So I've been in the market to get an old Dreamcast, and if I don't have to get an old Dreamcast with
You know what's funny? So my original Dreamcast, I got rid of it many years ago when I grew up, but about 4 or 5 years ago I bought a Dreamcast, and what I was hoping is there'd be a lot of games that I could play on the original hardware and record footage of. Now, what's interesting is I picked up a couple of, I think they were like the Hyperkin HDMI cable adapters. And what's interesting is a lot of the games that you really wanted to play and like live stream, like the NBA Showtime game and stuff, it doesn't work with the HDMI adapters. But there were a lot of the games, like I have a lot of like, let's be honest, some of the basic shitty Dreamcast games. Oh, those work without a problem. You know what I mean? But a lot of the main big titles don't work with those cables. Any idea why, Nostalgia? I've always wanted to understand that.
I don't know. I think it's probably a translation issue between the internal chips to the external components.
Right.
A lot of those devices that you're like plugging into the back end serial connection out.
Yeah.
They've got their own set of electronics that converts the signal outwards to a digital signal. And if there's some sort of resolution difference or the game's not compatible with the change, then you're just going to get a black screen. Sometimes you'll get a black screen with audio. But yeah, I think it's just the way that those cables are made. There are workarounds for that. If you want to purchase one of the HDMI upgrade kits for the Dreamcast itself that are not the cable, but the actual chips that you go in and you actually solder to the main board and you solder directly to the video drivers out on the chip, that will solve that issue. But for the most part, you kind of are going to be having some compatibility issues if you're using external connectors.
Because
So
it really stinks, Mike, that games like the Dreamcast NFL Blitz, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, NBA Jam, or is NBA Showtime, they don't work with the Hyperkin cables. It sucks. And those are the games you want to like stream and show off.
This is one of the biggest reasons I kind of got out of one of my biggest reasons I got out of my consoles and the original game collecting is I was making videos and doing live streams, but when you stream from your original console, even back then at the time, even if you had I had a RetroTink, it didn't really make any difference. It didn't look good. And people went out and bought Retron 5s and they were just using emulation stuff. And I was like, fuck it, I'll just use emulation for my video because it looks so clean and so crisp. So I kind of got away from playing with the original stuff because the only answer at the time was you had to get RGB mods for all your consoles, then go out and buy a FrameMeister. So you were looking at the RGB mod was sometimes $200. A FrameMeister at the time was $600 if you could even get one. So in order to get your games, get them really, really clean, and then capture them from original hardware, still a nightmare till today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need special upscalers and things like that that actually do the job correctly. Otherwise, you get input lag and a whole bunch of other issues that come along with it.
Yeah, people swear by the RetroTink now. Apparently, the RetroTink 5X is excellent.
Yeah, it's incredible. But it's expensive. You're paying $300 for that. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how original or how OG you want to go. If you want to play everything on original hardware on a modern TV, that's the way to do it. But I mean, if you're going to be super picky about it, you're probably not really wanting to play on a modern TV anyways. You probably want to grab a CRT and play on that.
So but that doesn't help you streaming though. That's the problem, right? If you want to capture your footage and record it or stream it, you're fucked. If I had my time back, I would have done things a little bit differently. I got really upset because it was so hard to get a FrameMeister. You were overpaying for them at the time. But I wish I could go back and start buying the analog consoles. I wish I kept my games and I bought the analog consoles because I'd be a happy dude today. That'd be a complete amazing way to play them. They take the original controllers. I'd be happy as a clam. But now you can't fucking get them. Re-release them analog.
Real quick, we're gonna a housekeeping item, and then let's move on. We got a couple of topics we want to get to. Great stuff. That was probably my favorite part of this week's episode, and we haven't even got to the other stuff yet, boys. Couple housekeeping items. Next Friday is my son's college graduation. My son is graduating from college, so I doubt I'll be available next Friday. And then the week after that, my wife and I will be on a romantic getaway vacation. And I'll probably miss the week after that as well. So I'll be out a couple of weeks. It's also graduation season. Do you guys have any graduations or things going on that you gotta make time for? It makes it hard doing a show with balancing 4 guys' schedule in all our families.
My daughter has a ballet concert on Monday. It's the closest thing I got to that. I'm going to the ballet.
You're going to the ballet. Nice. I know, Carl, you got plans for, oh, that's right. It's Mother's Day weekend. I hope you all are treating your mamas and your girlfriends and your wives and all them this week, especially putting up with you and your passion for this hobby. Nostalgia, what are you going to do for Mother's Day for the lovely Mrs. Nostalgia?
Nothing. We don't do anything for Mother's and Father's Day sort of thing. It's more for our daughter to spend with us. But we're doing just a little brunch. My mom's coming over. So we're going to do a little brunch on Sunday, but that's kind of it. We don't really do anything super, super special.
That sounds very special to me.
Yeah. It's just a little get together.
Yeah.
Just have some,
celebrate all those.
Yeah.
It's time together. Although they said my wife wanted a ice cream maker, gelato maker. I'm like, why am I buying that? You guys' mother. Y'all supposed to be working.
I get roped into that. I got to buy my wife the Mother's Day gift, and then she'll get me the Father's Day gift. I guess I end up getting it for myself.
Yeah, but your children are children. Mine are grown adults.
It's not going to make a difference, Carl. It's not. Trust me. Yeah, I see the way things work.
Yeah, but you were asking, please. I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted. But so the last week, the Memorial Day week, I'll be in Utah. So the 30th, I won't be here.
Yeah. So we're probably going to have dudes in and out. If we do episodes, we'll probably have guest stars coming in as well. So would love to see, would love to get Moat on an episode. We haven't had Moat on in a long time. And
I don't think I've ever been on any live stream with Moat.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
noticed
I
that
think
he
Moat
doesn't
filled
want
it.
to come on when I'm in.
No, but I think Moat filled in like on an episode or so when you weren't
I don't
there. Or
remember.
something. It was a long time ago.
So
Yeah, I heard a
and,
rumor that said he didn't want to be on
you
the show
know,
anytime I was.
I'm
like-
totally cool with Mo coming on, but before we suggest any other people, that's something we should probably talk about off air before we
No,
suggest
screw
other
that.
people.
P-Dubs,
Okay,
you and
we're
me,
gonna-
we'll
we're
just
gonna-
pick people at random.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about it right now. We're going to do this live and get you guys are going to hear how much of a gatekeeper Mike is. He's going to veto these people live, right, Mike?
No, but like, let's have a conversation about it. I'm totally fine with Mo. I'd happily have him on, but
It
come
just-
on now.
Hey, Carl, it
You
just
know-
kind of sounds like Mike doesn't want Moat on the show. That's what
We've
it,
had-
like,
what
if it was
the
anybody
fuck?
else.
we had Pitbull on once, and the F-bombs were unbelievable.
Pitbull can
Um,
only come on the show if he just like shows everyone his underwear for the rest
What
of
about
No,
what about James? Is James a good fill-in? He's just going to want to talk about economics and politics. He's going to.
No, I like James. James would be fine. But what I'm saying is,
James doesn't even want to come on,
sometimes
he's saying
Stubbs,
get MG on.
sometimes Stubbs, you surprise us. Like one time, I showed up and I get in the room, and then all of a sudden there's someone there. I was like, "Who the fuck is this? Why didn't you tell anybody?"
Yeah, so what I've learned is that Mike clearly hates Moat for some reason, which is weird. So
And we got to get Wild Bill on. We all love Wild Bill, right, Mike?
Let's talk about this offline.
we're gonna invite Corner Kid on next week.
No, we're
Let's talk about all this stuff
No, we're
offline,
not.
guys. Dubs is like, yeah, we're gonna have.
I'm just trying to get Mike in trouble. I'm trying to get Mike in trouble because
Yeah,
it
but
makes
like
me
people
giggle.
take this stuff seriously, right?
They
For
do.
some
They
reason,
take this stuff
like everything
too
so
seriously.
seriously.
They do.
Moat, we would have you on the show, but Mike doesn't really want you on the show, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I think you would be a great fit for our dynamic. You seem like a really cool dude. I'd love to do a live stream with you sometimes, but it's out of my hands. Mike pretty much said you suck and you can't come on.
I
You're
remember
such an
that.
asshole, Mike. Like,
I
geez.
remember that conversation, Nostalgia. I remember those DMs, and I was like, Mike, I don't think this is fair.
I don't think it was appropriate at all either. He was just like, no,
Yeah.
that guy will never be on our show again. He sucks.
Yeah.
And like, we can't do this anymore. Don't ever bring it up. And I'm sorry, Mike, I had to bring it up.
Billy
I
Woods
openly-
is going to come on my channel.
I openly tell you, Moat, I love you. You're more than welcome to come on. Please don't take any of this seriously. Nobody else take it seriously too. Let's just rock and roll.
Yeah, but hold on. You said he can only come on if you don't come on.
What are you talking about?
Listen, man, you're the one who said it.
And Mike, I would jump in to say all this is not true, but you kind of deserve it this time. So right out with it.
That's fair. That's fair. I shouldn't have said anything. I was just trying to stop Dubs from, going out and then telling everybody we're gonna have this person on and that person.
And we're also
on.
I'm gonna have Billy Woods on my channel so him and I can vent about
Break
AtGames.
your boys. Kevin Clausen, $2 super chat. Bring Moat on and ban 19K.
I will tell you, last week, I think the fans were robbed because even if we do the show, I think me and Nostalgia can pull it off. Hour and 18 minutes talking about Canadian Parliament. Brilliant.
Oh, please.
Oh man, that would get
No,
us completely removed from
all-
YouTube.
all
by the end
kidding-
of it.
All kidding aside, though, like I think that we've got a group of friends that we've always been close with. We call it the Vacation Alliance, but like you guys call it the Illuminati. Like we got 19K Fox, B, and Justin, who we talk to, and like we've had them on a lot. So I would suggest, like, I love those guys, but it's nice to get some different faces on too. Like you don't want to bring on the same guests all the time, right?
I
agree.
disagree.
You mean
I-
like
I-
bring Rex
I-
on? Is that what you're
I
saying?
agree, Mike. I think the community does get tired of
Who?
seeing the same.
I won't repeat it.
I don't know who
Carl.
you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. You are such a person.
I agree, Mike. I think the community does get tired of seeing the same faces all the time, and we're gonna fix that tonight, live on the Super Game Room, dudes. Let's go, boys! The new Avengers for the next 2 weeks. There you go, Hazo. Thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Oh man, I would, yeah. All right, let's Wait, we're supposed to talk about stuff. Mike, all right, Mike, let's do AtGames first because they have the least amount of information. Mike, it is your stream. Tell us about what happened in the world of AtGames this week.
I'm just waiting for Carl to make his sarcastic remark like he usually
No,
does.
it's not sarcastic. And this is now a time for the contractually
Yes. We got to make sure
For
that
the
PK is
AtGames.
happy with Mike, guys. We got to make sure Mike still gets his free pinball packs. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh.
Remember when we all used to get those packs, and then somehow they just all went to Michael.
It's
You know.
funny.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a comeback for that. He was just like, you got me. You got me, guys.
We're just teasing, but not really. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Caught red-handed.
There's nothing wrong with it, and it's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just
Wait. Retro.
We're legally obligated to
Carl.
say that you're legally obligated.
Both the Carls, you Carl and this Carl, Retro dude. I'm a big Gen X grown-up fanboy, but Mike hates him. Mike won't let me have him on. We've talked about this for years.
Oh, it's true. He said the same thing about Gen X growing up as he did about Moat, actually. It was actually in the same
He's
conversation.
Like, that guy's a piece of shit. He's never coming on.
So I did do a little bit of communicating with one of the guys from Gen X growing up. I don't know if it was John or I think there's somebody else on the show. I was talking to him. So yeah, like whoever I talk to, I'd be super comfortable to have them on the show. I don't know if it's John or if it's somebody else from the show. I can't
Anybody
remember
but
now.
John. He hates John.
I don't hate John. I don't know him.
Well, now back
That's why
to
you
the
hate him.
AtGames.
Oh, okay. So
AtGames.
really,
Mike,
really,
we are an hour into the show. We haven't talked about any of the 3 lame topics that we picked for tonight.
The lame topics. We spent 45 minutes talking
Actually,
about
it has been a really good conversation tonight.
Yeah,
I think
I
this is a
agree.
pretty good episode. We don't need to talk about the topics, actually.
No,
Let's
no.
just scrap the topics.
Well,
agree.
so we're
Scrap.
contractually obligated to talk about AtGames.
we are.
Oh, that's right.
contractually
We got to
obligated.
make sure we get. All right, we got to. All
Yeah,
right,
Mike's
go
got to
ahead.
get his game packs. We got
All
it.
right.
Let's go.
So there is a little bit of AtGames news, and P-Dubs, you're going to want to jump in on this because I'm sure you've got opinions on it. But first up, Black Belt Deluxe finally came out. I haven't had a chance to
Oh, it's
play
out
it. So,
now.
yeah, Black Belt Deluxe finally came out.
I was actually excited about that one. I actually thought that looked like a fun deluxe table. Guys, has anyone played Black Belt Deluxe? And is it good? Let me know in the chat. I myself have seen the game on the Zaccario stuff on PC, but I've never played it. So.
Zaccaria.
But it looked more interesting and maybe faster gameplay than some of the other deluxes. So you guys let me know in the chat. Mike, did you play it or did you do a live stream of it?
I'm going to do one Saturday. I haven't had a chance to do one yet. They did send me a code, so get your remarks in.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'll be playing it Saturday. I
This
haven't had a
game is
chance yet.
great. I'll never play it again after tonight, but guys, it's great.
He's got his mandatory live stream, and then
It's a
Oh,
7 out of
dust.
10. I like it.
P-Dubs
Well,
is
I mean,
so
if-
salty.
If they send it to you, you got to do it. Billy Woods does a lot of AtGames stuff. He's working on his review. You might want to watch his review coming out very soon. If you played one of the Magic Pixel Deluxe tables, you've played them all. I think that's what.
Sadly, there is a
already.
lot of reused assets. Like that's one thing
The sound effects.
Yeah.
like
Did you
the
play
big
Earth,
bang
Wind,
sound.
Fire Deluxe yet?
I have not played Earth, Wind, Fire.
Oh, you're missing out.
In fact, I might go on an AtGames Pinball strike and just stop buying games.
You could do that. But
We'll see.
Earth, Wind, Fire Deluxe was surprisingly fun. They changed up the DMD animations, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
What do you mean they changed up the DMD animations?
They did. They changed up the DMD animations. It's not the same. There's new animations.
What about on Black Belt? Are they different too?
I don't know about Black Belt. I haven't played it yet.
Oh God, because they kept reusing the same DMD animations, right?
There's
Like,
new ones for Earth, Wind, Fire Deluxe, and the game's surprisingly fun. Callouts were fun. So Black Belt
Has
Deluxe
anyone
is
has
out
anyone done a video out there on YouTube yet that we could show off some gameplay here of this game?
of Black Belt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Games, Black Belt.
Oh, Yo Retro.
Deluxe.
Yo Retro covered it last night. I don't know. how
Oh
much
yeah,
gameplay there was.
we love Yo Retro. Where are the Yo Retro boys? Let's find out. Do. Ah, here we go. Go ahead, Mike. Keep talking while I find it.
Yeah, so Black Belt Deluxe is out, and we also got some interesting updates from AtGames. Killer Instinct, they showed off the first look at the pinball. So did everybody get a chance to take a look at the Killer Instinct pinball preview they put out? It's very short.
Nope.
Oh.
I didn't know that they did that.
Yep.
We'll talk about that in just 1 second. All right, here we go. Black Belt Deluxe, I think. I thought I saw some gameplay. Here we go. All right, this is from Yo Retro, one of our boy Chaotic BPR, and half a dozen. Make sure you guys subscribe to Yo. Make sure you
I
subscribe.
refuse to call him that. I just call him 6.
A little bit. Okay,
I
we got.
understand what you did
Hold
there.
on. 2, 3, 4. Is it just 5 flippers?
Only 5 this time around. There we go.
There you go. Well, I guess that was a trailer. I thought they played it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't say.
I don't know. All I know is when I saw some video for this actually looked a bit more fun compared to some of the other deluxe tables. Like it looked like it played better.
Justin Miles, $2.
Maybe I'll pick it up and try it. The
Wait,
people in the live chat have been saying that it's a bit better. You know what I mean? That they were enjoying it.
Yeah, let us know in the chat too what you thought of Earth, Wind, Fire Deluxe. I really enjoyed that one. I think P-Dubs would like it too. Good fantasy theme, fun call outs. And, it's Zacharias, so the ball is like super bouncy and shit. But I think Dubs would like that one.
Now, did PD7 play it when he was walking through Target, or like?
Well, no, he just showed some gameplay of it while he
here we go.
assaulted Duncan's woman about the coffee not being hot enough.
All right, so this is PD7. This guy puts, if you guys are looking for a consistent YouTuber, he puts out a video every day at 2 a.m. I don't know how the hell he does it.
He consistently harasses the poor people working at Dunkin' Donuts about his coffee not being hot enough.
Yep.
Then he talks about whether or not he's going to buy a snowblower or a lawnmower.
Yeah. Ooh, I like the dragon on the table there. That looks really good. All right. I'll give it a shot. Since all you guys are speaking highly of this one, I'll give it a shot. And Earth, Wind, Fire is great. Billy Wood says the voice
I like it.
in it is great. All right. I haven't tried either of those games, so I will give them a shot. But there you go. So, and then Mike, and then also probably the big news was that they put out a little teaser for Killer Instinct. Will we get copyright claim if we play the audio for that Killer Instinct song?
I think we might get copyright audio for the dogs barking, but I think we should be good on the trailer.
Oh, are my dogs barking? Hang on.
Quiet!
Shut up!
Shut up! You hear they got quiet? It fucking worked. Don't laugh at me, Nostalgia. It worked.
It was great. He did such a good thing.
I'm
Do you
not
know
sure.
what it is? Do you know what drives me crazy? All right, can I vent? How many
Yeah,
guys?
sure.
Guys, are you married in the live chat? Give me one if you're married in the chat. I love my wife, Melissa. She's my best friend, my soulmate, my number one supporter. But man, does she piss me off when it comes to one thing. Why is it when women, especially my wife, go out and they come home, why does it take them 9 freaking minutes to get out of the vehicle? And while she's messing around in the car, gathering her crap to get out of the vehicle, the dogs are going ballistic. Now, I pull up in the driveway or in the garage. I turn the car off. I open the door. I get out of the car. I'm usually in the house within 60 seconds of arrival of my home. Why does it take women 9 minutes to get out of the freaking car and get in the house? And the dogs are barking. The dogs are going nuts.
Kevin's right, dude.
Also, Melissa, what P-Dubs is also saying is happy early Mother's Day.
Oh, and happy Mother's Day. Like, just get in the freaking house already so the dog shut up.
Well, MG's kind of right. Usually she's bringing food for you, so maybe
is
give her
true.
a break, bud.
That's true.
Hey, honey, did you bring dinner?
Oh, boy. She, I don't know if you guys heard her, but she said, I was listening to the show.
Oh,
My favorite is my wife
I'm
comes
toast.
home. My wife
I'm
comes home
toast.
and like I'm home all day with the kids, right? And she'll come home from work and she's like, "How's everybody doing?" And I'm like, overwhelmed. I just did a full day's work while taking care of the kids. And she's like, "Okay, well, I just need a couple minutes to go upstairs and unwind and get changed, and I'll be right down." And then I'm there like, "You gotta be kidding me! You've been gone all day."
but Mike, what's a few extra minutes? Don't be selfish, bro.
Yeah, so the Killer Instinct trailer's up. It's short. There's some good and there's some bad. Like it has the actual voiceover guy for the call outs, which is good. Looks like they've implemented a combo system, which is obviously something you should do with a Killer Instinct game. They use there's some negatives there too. Like if you look at the actual scoreboard, it looks like they use some AI to create the character art for the scoreboard. Jago looks right, but if you take a look at Orchid there, I mean, she does not look right. I've never seen Orchid look like that in my life. So that looks kind of AI rendered. Some other people complained about the 3D images up in the actual battle cage up top, said they look like Rock'em Sock'em robots and stuff. I mean, Zachariah's 3D images have never been Zen quality.
It's so true. It's so true. Once I think it was Big ED. Once I heard Big ED say that it looks like Rock'em Sock'em robots at the top of the pinball game playfield, I can't unsee it. That's all I see.
I mean, yeah, this is the point everybody's making. Like, it sucks. I talked about it in my video. AtGames obviously had to put out Sea of Thieves as soon as they could because they sold the actual machine. But I mean, making people wait like 5 months for like the other 2 games of that pack, it would have been, like you said originally, P-Dubs, such a good idea to have done single games on these so they could have took the time without taking money for them.
Sorry I had to mute my phone there. Yeah, I mean, that's just my personal opinion, and I could be wrong, but, I mean, with their licensing agreement could have been, hey, you have to do it as a all-in bundle.
Bundle, yeah.
And maybe that's, if that's the ink on the contract, that's the ink on the contract. But if it's going to take you this long to release the games in between each other, probably would have been better to sell them as single pack games, in my opinion, especially since you weren't selling a skinned Killer Instinct machine or Battletoads machine. What I can say is I really like the fact that we had a two flipper game, and I didn't see a third flipper near the top. Did you guys see a third flipper? I don't think I saw one. And I do like the fact that it's the actual game music, which we kept it muted just to make sure we don't get copyright claim, because I think that song would get us copyright claim.
Well, it's not actually the Killer Instinct theme during gameplay. We don't know everything yet, but I'm hoping the theme changes depending on different modes in the game, because if you don't get that Killer Instinct music, like people are going to be really sad.
But there were the call outs. There were the call outs, the all killer combo and stuff. Now what's funny is when you were playing it, the guy was hitting combo shots, and a combo in pinball is usually you hit ramp shot and then you hit another ramp shot where you hit like multiple orbit shots. And it's usually a combo in most pinball games, real and virtual. And it was cool to hear them going like deluxe combo and stuff like that. But then the video cut short, and it's like, it would have been cool if they showed like ultra combo, and like, does the table go bananas when you do ultra combo? Like, it's got to do something. Is it going to scream ultra combo? Give us something.
Or is there something there for them to scream out combo breaker?
Yep. Chaotic says all the music in there, and that's great. That's great. It's not like we're just getting, hey, here's some of the characters, and we're not getting any of the other assets from the game. So,
Moat made a really good point. He said, why would they use AI images? This is not necessarily on them so much as Magic Pixel as a company. For the last little while, they've been really focused on using AI to come up with their table art. So I don't think that's
real?
so much.
Like that's confirmed?
Yeah,
that's confirmed.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I thought it was speculation. Holy shit.
No, that's been confirmed on the Zakaria Discord that they use AI to generate artwork for their pinball games, and I'm assuming it's a cost thing instead of hiring a good artist, which that could be hit or miss. Battletoads, in my opinion, the teaser we got for Battletoads, can I be honest? I thought that the Battletoads looked a little more better than this. But what sucks is when you do a 25-second teaser, you can't really make this huge opinion about it.
No,
because there is so much to a pinball game that you need more than 20 seconds, right? To say it looks awesome. Like, I mean, you could say it looks cool, but I mean, is it really awesome? We don't know until we play it.
Sorry,
go ahead. No, you go ahead. I'll jump in.
I was going to ask, do we know anything about the gameplay at all, or no?
Just what we saw. Yeah.
Okay, so I
Just
think my
that's it.
opinion on this game, there'd be a massive missed opportunity for this game specifically if they don't allow you to choose a character at the beginning of the game, and then instead of like leveling up in a bunch of different pinball games the way that you would normally do it and have different game modes or whatever, what it should be is as you level up, the 3D models in the top change. So you still have whoever you picked as your main character, but every level that you level up is actually a different character from the game, and you fight that character. And I think that would be like a super awesome way to integrate Killer Instinct into the V-Pin world.
Yeah.
I agree, but what worries me is how much of that can they do on the AtGames hardware? Because keep in mind, these games have to also run on the HD pinball machine, not just the 4K.
Yeah.
So that's one reason you should keep your expectations a little bit down for these games, is because these games are also these aren't 4K exclusive with the better hardware. These also are going to be on the HD, so they have to make sure it's the same experience across the board. So, if people are shitting on the games because they're more bare compared to like stuff that Zen does, I mean, keep in mind it's supposed to run on that lower end hardware as well. So but we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything negative or pro until I really get a chance to play them. I will be buying them when they are released. I'm just glad I didn't buy them 5-6 months ago. I mean, I know it was only $30 back then, but
was it that much? I thought it was cheaper for some reason. I thought it sold for $25 on sale when it first came out.
I don't remember, man. It was a long time ago they did that back.
Yeah. So the other piece of news, the one that's a little bit more confusing and it'll lead into our next topic, is AtGames put out a notice, which I put in our thumbnail, that the Zen Studios games are delayed. What was the exact wording on it?
So basically, the May calendar they sent out now isn't even worth looking at, right? Because now everything's changed.
That's part of it, but I think the wording is really important. I just want to be clear about that because I read it. I was a little bit concerned on what they put up there. It wasn't just the May calendar. Here it goes. The next wave of Zen Studios pinball tables, originally planned for May, will be slightly delayed until further notice. We truly appreciate your patience and understanding as we work behind the scenes to ensure the best possible experience. Okay, so I misread it the first time. So yeah, it's just May, it looks like. But there's some rumors and speculation, nothing confirmed, that we were expecting to see a very big price increase when it came to the Zen games. That's the price increase they indicated. So is this a technical issue with these games that they're trying to improve upon? Or is there something there where maybe they're still in negotiations with Zen Studios to try to come up with a price that works for everybody?
Second thing.
What
was that?
Your second point. That's what it is.
It's the price negotiation, you think?
I actually don't know. I was just trying to be involved.
Well, I appreciate your efforts. Guys in the chat, let us know why you think the Zen Studio games are all of a sudden now miraculously delayed until further notice. Speculate away in the live chat. This is going to lead to, this kind of announcement's going to lead to positive and negative reactions from people, right? So, in my opinion, I think there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we aren't aware of, but hopefully it'll all work out in the end.
Well, one of the things that we are aware of, and that has a June 16th date, is the lower the Tomb Raider tables, right? Are they delaying this to match up with that release? Maybe
we're not sure. Carl. Thank you, because that's a good segue. But the Tomb Raider during that Zen Pinball Bites was announced to come out same day across all platforms, including the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. So that could have played into it.
Yep. And Zen Studios again. Think about this, guys. Do you guys remember back in January, February, we didn't get any Zen Studios releases? Do you remember? And that was because Zen Studios was in the middle of launching the VR pinball. You guys remember that? And that was a pretty big endeavor for them. I find it funny that also in May, Zen Studios is going to be doing a massive update to VR pinball and consoles. And they're releasing a ton of stuff on Android and Apple. They're releasing a ton of stuff on VR. Because let's be honest, guys, you got to go where the money is. You know, AtGames has sold less than 3,000 pinball machines, apparently. And so, you know, the access to
and they
100.
increased the prices of what they have.
Yeah.
So that's going to.
I mean, what would your priority be if you're a company, guys? The ability to sell some pinball packs to a few thousand customers, or the ability to sell pinball packs to hundreds of thousands of customers,
Millions.
right? And millions, right? And so it could be that. It could be like Zen's like, look, we're stretched thin, and maybe May is no good for us with AtGames. We'll get back to you, right? Or it could be that, hey, they're in the middle of yearly contract negotiations. It could be the fact that AtGames and them might still be working out payments, and who knows, right? Like, I mean, there's all kinds of speculation out there. So yeah, we'll see what happens here. I have my own thoughts, but I'm gonna keep them myself because I don't want Mike to get in trouble.
Anyways, you know, that's the AtGame news right now. So I hope we still get table releases in May. I got a pretty good feeling I know what they are. We just got, what was it, Theater Magic. So I think the next Zen Pinball release is probably going to be Safecracker. I got a really strong feeling about Safecracker.
I don't know. There was a guy, I did a stream last night. It wasn't really a plan. It was meant to be like a 15-minute thing, but I ended up going for an hour. And one of the guys in the chat said Mousing Around would be the next Williams game release.
Is Mousing Around on Pinball FX?
Well, he was talking about the next Pinball FX game.
Oh, okay. Not for AtGames. He means
not for AtGames.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, it was cool. The one cool announcement we got was that both AtGames and consoles and stuff will get Tomb Raider on day one, whenever Tomb Raider launches in June. So that was nice to hear. You figured they would have maybe delayed AtGames for breaking the news and causing drama behind the scenes, leaking Tomb Raider early.
How does that even happen? Like,
accidents happen. Lots of companies leak lots of shit by accident.
Okay, so let's talk about Pinball FX VR, because we just talked about this. This was the big, for me, I mean, the big announcement that we got this past week. You know, they announced Tomb Raider coming to Pinball FX, but then they talked about Pinball FX VR. And one of my big concerns with Pinball FX VR was, we've gotten VR pinball from Zen Studios before, and it was kind of like a one and done. Like, you got Pinball FX2, we got that, you know, what was it, the ET pack with Jaws and Back to the Future, and then we got Star Wars, and it was just the Star Wars games. And I was worried that we would get Pinball FX VR, but I was like, I don't know how much DLC we're gonna get. But immediately they jump out of the gate and they say we're getting Williams Pinball Pack 1, 2, and 3. And you look at the heavy hitters in this: Medieval Madness, Getaway, Attack from Mars, Black Rose. I mean, just awesome games. Theater of Magic. So we got some really, really top tier shit coming to Pinball FX VR very soon. And I couldn't be more happy. I mean, just alone, Attack from Mars and everybody's gonna make fun of me there, but Attack from Mars and Medieval Madness are two of the top 5 games of all time. Like, it's just so fucking good.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited about this one for sure. The VR, I've really been enjoying it. You know, I Attack from Mars is my go-to when I want to play some pinball. And you know, I have it on my VPX, I have it on my Switch, which I can play on either AtGames ALP or my Stellar Pinball. So I've really been enjoying the VR, and I was like, man, I've got to have Attack from Mars on this platform. So I'm glad to hear that. And I really recently got into Medieval Times because it's pretty much a ripoff of Attack from Mars. They have a lot of the call outs and things. So I enjoy it just as much as I enjoy the other one. So I'm excited for this.
I am too, and I'm happy to see that you're getting 3 pinball packs, 9 games, and because they even advertise them as the Williams packs, I'm assuming when these go on sale, these won't be sold as individual games.
Right.
That they'll probably sell it as a pack, probably, I'm guessing, like $15 a pack. Not like $10 per game. We're not talking $90. I mean, I guessing it's going to be around $40-50 if you want to get all 9 games, buying them as packs. But in my opinion, not adding 9 more games is a lot of pinball. I mean, that's a lot of pinball, and they're the good ones too, the Williams games. So I'm super excited. If you haven't tried the VR pinball MetaQuest, everyone who tries it is like in love with it. I can't find very many people that complain about it. And if you do complain about it, you'll probably only say, "Hey, because I'm playing with Joy-Cons, or if I'm playing with, let's just say, the Tank Stick VR, there's no haptic feedback. There's no rumble in your fingers to help. Like when you play on a console with a controller, like a PS5 or an Xbox, you're playing pinball, you get the feedback in the controllers, right? You get the rumble, makes you feel the movement of the ball on the table. You don't get that when you're playing VR." And also some people, some of the games, the physics might need updated or stuff. Like the nudge doesn't work as good on some tables as it does on others. But the majority experience, the majority opinion is that this is a super fun way to play pinball. And I know I've had a blast checking some of these games out. And everyone who, we're friends with on VR, the leaderboards are ultra competitive. Like everyone's always posting screenshots, talking smack about, because I only work off of my friends list leaderboards. I don't work off of like the global leaderboards.
Right.
You know what I mean? To me, none of those people exist. It's just the people that are on my friends list. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Nostalgia, are you ever going to play these games? Because I don't see you on the leaderboards, buddy.
No, I've not played them. I might. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been playing a bunch of other games in VR, so this isn't one that has kind of hit my list yet.
So, Nostalgia, when you steal this one, do you think the leaderboards will still work the same way? Or
I happen to know that they do, actually, just for the record.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So yeah, this is a fun way to play VR pinball, and people like it. Now, again, during their live stream yesterday, they didn't announce. It was very VR focused. I think someone even wrote that in our chat. But they did announce that they have at least one new Williams game that's going to be released and announced very soon. They gave a hint: made before 1990, and they made over 3,000 machines. And when I was talking about it last night, a guy pointed out to me that Mousing Around, the Williams pinball game, was made in 1989, and they made 3,009 units. So it seems like a pretty solid guess, right? I'm also wondering if they're going to do, did they get the Looney Tunes license? And will we get the Bugs Bunny game, which was in 1989 as well? And they made 3,000 real pinball machines of that too, which that Bugs Bunny birthday party, that's a pretty cool machine. In fact, I think Pitbull, didn't you buy one? If Pitbull is still here in the chat, I think Pitbull owns that game. It's a really good game. So we'll see what they announce. But more games will come to, Pinball FX. It's just they're really pushing this VR right now, and they're probably because they're making a killing off of it. I mean, people are buying this shit up like hotcakes.
I'm just glad to see it supported. Like I said, they've had VR pinball in the past, and it's been okay, but it hasn't seen a lot of love like this. So I'm glad to see that.
Honestly, since this came out, I haven't gone back to play their separate Star Wars pinball VR. I haven't gone back to even play that. It's been all about playing this, and it sounds like they're committed to getting the bulk of their gaming lineup released in this fashion.
Yeah,
and I have two questions. One for Nostalgia. If you were to pick a pack, either one of the existing packs is out or these newly announced ones to get started in this VR, do you have a particular one that you would go for?
I don't know all of the launch tables that would have come out with it originally, but I think I would probably go with one of the Williams packs to get started. I love Attack from Mars. I really do love that pinball game. So I think if it was my first dive into it, that'd be one of the first games that I'd want to play.
Okay. And then the second question was for the guys who've been playing, do you play with all those characters on the side of the table, or do you turn it off?
Can you turn off the people on the side of the table?
Yeah, I turn them off.
I didn't know
can,
you
yeah.
could turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm getting.
settings.
I've been slowly trying to catch up to you in Adam's Family, which I finally passed you.
Oh, did
I
you?
haven't been able to play a
So-
lot, but I did
Yeah, I haven't
pass
played
you.
in a month or
And
so,
if I
so
can
I'm-
get rid of that fucking thing, I'll be a very happy guy.
No, the one that annoys me is the when you play the Twilight Zone, the 3D character next to you.
The robot.
It's always, it's making all these weird high pitched sounds, guys. You know what I'm talking about, and it's annoying.
we don't
AF.
hear that. We don't hear those sounds.
I hear them when you're playing it, and it's annoying as heck. So like that robot, I want to turn off. But like when I play like Indiana Jones, and you got Indiana next to you, and like the Ark of the Covenant, which opens up every single time, and like that's really cool. And I do like that Curse of the Mummy or the Mummy game. I like that mummy next to you because whenever you lose a ball, the guy screams in your face. I think it's awesome. It's intense. So, but the only one I don't like is the Twilight Zone robot. And I love it in Star Trek The Next Generation, like with the ships flying in front of they're literally like flying in front of your face. It's awesome. So
Yeah,
I think
turn all
that's
that
cool.
off. I turn that off.
You turn all that off?
I turn the animation on the table off. I don't want to see the score popping up. I want to play it like the way I remember pinball. So, but it's nice that you can have those. But I do play initially just to see what those animations are, and then once I see them.
So, Carl, I wanted to jump in and answer your question there that you asked for nostalgia about the games I want to come to. I do want to see Back to the Future, E.T., and Jaws. I'd like to see some of those games come to the platform as well, even though they're not Williams games. I would love to play like Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future on Pinball FX. I just love fucking Back to the Future. So I'd like to see that get there. But I would also like to see the most recent Williams pack go there with Black Knight. What was it? Black Knight, Earthshaker, and what was the other game? Banzai Run. I would love to see that come to Pinball FX.
I'm not familiar with either of those three tables there at all.
Really? You've never played Black Knight 2000? Oh man.
I played it on my VPX machine, but not often enough to have much opinion on it.
Yeah. Now, did they announce anything else that we missed? Tomb Raider in June?
Yeah. Tomb Raider looks okay.
And the Williams, the date is May 15th.
I remember what I was going to say now earlier. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot.
What?
With AtGames and what game was it now? With Battletoads. If the back glass isn't done yet, how you can make everybody happy is his character in Battletoads called the Dark Queen. And I have like this erotic fixation over her. So she has giant cans, and pinball fans love boobies on the back glass.
Yeah,
so
we do.
If you haven't done it yet, you got to put that sexy ass Dark Queen on the back glass with those big old boobs hanging out. You got to give the people what they want.
If you've seen the key art for Tomb Raider, the back glass for Tomb Raider, Lara Croft does have
boobies in the back glass.
A nice set of boobs on the back glass. And I'm so glad that they didn't really like tone her down the way so many studios are toning down female video game characters, desexualizing them, because today's culture is weird. Like, what's wrong with having a beautiful woman with big tits? It makes me want to buy and play the game. I don't get it myself, but I'm glad Zen Studios isn't doing that. And we are going to get double D, triple D, Lara Croft pinball. And I think the game looks really cool. The playfield and stuff that they showed. So yeah, man, bring on the boobs.
Yeah,
the boobies
you
on the
guys
back.
know I'm not really a fan of all that sex.
Carl,
yeah, right.
Carl currently has 5 naked women dancing across poles on the bottom of his screen.
Well, I mean, I could have 20, but I kind of toned it down.
So,
all right, we're past the hour and 18-minute mark, so we gotta get to the end here now really quickly. Dubs, I just started it, guys. I don't know if either of you had a chance to play it. Expedition 33 Clear Obscure is kind of like took the gaming world by storm. I know our buddy Shotgun Sean has already beat it. Like he went right through it like mad. You're
Well, let me
20
just-
hours
well,
in.
Well, let me
the 2
shorten
days.
this for you guys. Me and Nostalgia, we can just leave now because we don't.
I don't even know what you're fucking talking
Yeah,
about. What is it for?
So we're gone. So, all right.
It's
Guys, have a good
Xbox
weekend.
Game
Happy
Pass.
Mother's Day.
So Exhibition 33, new turn-based RPG. Do you guys like turn-based RPGs? In fact, I prefer turn-based RPGs because sometimes even ones like where they've done a crossover where it's like turn-based, but they try to mix it with it's more real-time fighting action games. Like sometimes so much crap is happening and flashing across the screen that it's nice sometimes to just take a second and plan out your attack. Like, what should I do? You know what I mean? I love turn-based RPGs.
Me too.
I prefer them over other fighting RPGs. And this game comes out of nowhere, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. The story, the acting, the setting, the costumes, um, the fighting, the turn-based fighting, and I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. Now, again, I'm only 20 hours into it, so I probably have another 15 hours or so until I beat the main campaign. But this game has blown me away, and every time I sit downstairs playing it on Game Pass, my wife Melissa sits next to me, and she's hooked on it too, Mike.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of funny. Like after work, she'll be like, "Are we going expeditioning tonight?" You know what I mean? That's what she says to me.
You know
Are
what
we
my
going
wife,
expeditioning tonight? And I'm like, "Yeah, baby, let's play." This
you know-
game should win Game of the Year.
100%.
I haven't had a game pull me in so deep in a long time, Mike. Like I am obsessed with this game. Go ahead, buddy.
So my wife actually says something different. Usually when I'm playing the Xbox and she comes home, she says, "Turn off your fucking Xbox. I want to play Dreamlight Valley." See, because unfortunately, I bought her an Xbox and she used my account. So now every time she uses Dreamlight Valley, I can't play the Xbox. I love this. I love turn-based RPGs. It's been one of my biggest complaints about Square lately. Like what they've been doing with the Final Fantasy franchise. Like it's just blasphemy in my opinion. So this I'm really excited about, but it has this weird like especially people who played like the Paper Mario and Mario RPG type games. It has different elements than a regular turn-based RPG where there's some what are they called?
Dodge or parry?
No, it's not just dodge and parry. That's the Mario RPG elements. But there's also elements where it's quick time events when you're doing certain attacks that if you don't hit the quick time events quick enough, your attack is like really lame and fizzles out. So I'm struggling right now. I love it, but I'm finding myself really struggling to figure out the parry and the timing on the quick time events. The dodge is super easy, but the parry is so important to getting those massive like counterattacks that take off so much energy. So that's what I'm really struggling with. I'm early, but I'm early because like I am just so weirded out by the battle mechanics and trying to learn the timing because I know it's going to be so important.
One of the bosses is a freaking mime. Game of the Year. That is true. That is true. The dodge and parry is really, really cool because for parry, you have to wait. It's easier to dodge.
So easy. Yeah.
Much harder to parry because you have to wait until it's like the last possible instant to block. You know what I mean? And some of the bosses, like when you fight the old guy at the manor, Mike, when you get further in the game,
Well, Mike's already finished it, so
you need to parry in order to do that massive counterattack. Otherwise, the guy's going to wipe the floor with you. And also, too, whenever you die in a fight, and you will die, kind of think of like Souls games, especially if you're not playing on easy like Mike, if you're playing on normal like he does.
You piece of shit.
You're going to die. You're going to die a lot. Your party's going to get killed. But it'll pick up right where it left off. You can fight the battle again. It's kind of like Souls that way, like Souls type games. So, you expect to die, expect to get killed because you have to learn all the enemies' attack patterns.
Yeah.
And it takes a minute. It takes a minute. Would you stop?
So, Nostalgia, I'm going to ask you a question. If they made a actual live action movie about this tomorrow, who would play the main male character there on screen?
You know what? Based on what I'm seeing, who's the dude that played Harry Potter?
Oh, seriously? You're going that way? I'd go.
I don't know. That's what I thought of when I saw him. What's his name?
I don't know. Harry.
You know who
Potter.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, I 100% know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his name now off the top of my friend. You're telling me that a person who recently played Batman doesn't look exactly like the lead character?
Robert Pattinson?
100% looks exactly
Maybe.
like him.
That's not a bad choice. My first thought was the dude who played Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But Robert Pattinson could do that. Who else could play that guy? What's his name? Johnny Depp could play that guy.
See?
Or Gabriel
Iglesias?
No. Gabriel. I can't remember his name. He played Harvey Specter in Suits.
Daniel
Radcliffe. That's it. Daniel Radcliffe.
Jim Harper knows the actual answer.
Pascal.
No matter what show or what genre, it doesn't matter if it's appropriate or not. Pedro Pascal will be the lead character.
The Rock. Yeah, that's who could play him.
The Rock.
Okay. The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, baby.
Anyone who votes for Ryan Gosling will get blocked in the chat. You know what
Elliot
I mean?
Page could play him.
I'm already worried that they casted Ryan Gosling for the next Star Wars movie.
Why? He's a good actor.
Yeah, they announced at the Star Wars Fan Fest a week or two ago that one of the next Star Wars movies is going to take place like 100 years after Episode 9. It's like Star Wars Starfighter, and it's going to star Ryan Gosling, and they brought him out on the stage, and I'm like, I'm supposed to get excited over Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling's a good actor, man.
Yeah, he's going to be like, the next star of Star Wars movies. So there you guys go. But another thing I just want to mention is if you like games where you can fight like giant monster bosses, like stuff like this, super awesome, super cool. Versus just fighting people your size. You know what I mean? So much fun. So yeah. But Mike,
people, wait a minute. People your size? Was that a shot at Nostalgia and his micro penis? We talked about this at the beginning of the show.
Oh yeah.
Can we just be inclusive for one goddamn show?
God damn it.
This game. All right. Guys, this was a very, very fun episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. We want to thank you for your support coming in every week. Do us a favor, give us a thumbs up. That helps the show so much. Give us a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you for subscribing. Carl, whenever you're ready, send these people on their way. Big shout out to B Kirby for 10 channel membership gifts. Thanks so much, B Kirby. We greatly appreciate that. Carl, send them on their way. You guys have a great Mother's Day weekend. Spoil the ladies in your life. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love you. And until next time, we'll see you on the web.